Thank you, Chairman. It's normally not hard finding me in a crowd unless I'm amongst basketball players, and then I just kind of blend in. Chancellor, President, how are you? That's the only time of the year I get to say that. Right now, the 4 state-related universities are to the Commonwealth asking for funding increases. I have a couple of questions specifically on some of those expenditures because, like the gentleman from Penn Township, I have a high school senior matriculating this year, and she's accepted pretty much at all of you. President Barron, I'm going to just get to the crux of it here. How, as a parent, would I object to money from my daughter's student funds being used to bring William Ayers to the Penn State campus to address them?
Okay, well, so this is a very good question and one that universities face all the time. And sometimes we have this experience on one side of the spectrum, and sometimes we have it on the other side. But one thing is clear is that the student fees are allocated by students, not by the university. And the student leadership and the individuals that are involved in that have the right to make these decisions themselves. As a matter of fact, I'm fairly certain that there is even a Supreme Court ruling out there which suggests that the universities do not have the right to interfere with those expenditures. And in this particular case, we're talking about a group of law students who have made that invitation. And I assure you, as law students, they are listening to that speaker, which was their choice, with their eyes wide open on both the individual's history and what it is that they're saying. And they're doing it with an intent and a purpose. And so this is really one case where the university does not have a choice. And I would say that regardless of who it is, the students, we're in an interesting world where universities are canceling speeches by George Will and Condoleezza Rice.
But not Bill Ayers, leader of the Weather Underground.
Yes, I understand perfectly. And I have to separate my personal opinion from what it is that is my duty as a university president.
Well, I'm trying to stay to the chairman's directive to keep these fiscal questions. How would I object to portions of my daughter's student fund being used to pay for a man who blew up a parking lot full of police cars? Is there a conscientious objector status by which I could petition Penn State to have that portion removed from my daughter's student fees if she chooses to go there?
Well, I do not know that process. We could certainly look, but I suspect directly addressing the students in this matter, as they have been, as many comments have been directed to them, would be certainly appropriate.
Well, I appreciate your forthrightness, President. Mr. Chairman, on the same tail here, real quick, where's the line? When they break the law, is that considered over the line? I understand there's an incident with a Penn State professor from Abington lighting up a cigarette on a pressurized oxygen jet airliner right now. And having read that and taught sociology for 14 years, I do understand the revolutionary reactionary mindset. I understand that's needed to be studied to give yourself perspective across all the other perspectives. But I'm pretty certain that lighting up a cigarette inside a pressurized oxygen jet airliner is probably federal beyond state. And my question is, how do we reconcile that? Where is the line?
Okay, well, the line is quite distinct. We don't tolerate criminal behavior, and so that individual is not in the classroom any longer. And we're going through our investigation, and we act upon those investigations. We do not act by what newspapers announce and say, because many times they get it wrong, but we do act on the evidence. So she faces not only the fact that there's a criminal case there, and we are not the justice system. We expect that criminal system to go through its process. But we do act in terms of what we have as expectations for our faculty and what their role models are for the institution. And that's why I can say to you quite clearly, she is not in the classroom any longer, and there is an investigation proceeding.
Thank you, President Barron.
Quite welcome.
Good question. I apologize for no questions for the rest. She's kind of leaning that way right now. Thank you, Chairman.